Hey, it's Jenna Marie. Today I thought I'd do something a little different. I'm going to start kind of a podcast sort of thing. So, this is advice that I have for high school students. I think you should start doing this right as you begin high school, but if you're already like part of the way through high school, these still apply to you. It's just, you know, well, you have less time to accomplish them. I have been through a lot in high school and I was very involved and I did a lot of things. And there's also a lot of things I didn't do that I wish I did while I still did a lot. This is part of how I was able to get into UC Davis. I got accepted there for medical and microbiology. So these kinds of things can get you into some pretty good schools. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First thing I have on this list is do a sport. I did golf in high school, and let me tell you, very great experience. Our team wasn't the best, but I was able to improve myself quite a bit because I cared maybe a little too much. Um, and I think it helped me a lot in life because having 4 years of golf on my kind of resume background history was very helpful for getting scholarships. And usually, your school will offer scholarships on their website. If you actually look on the website, they have scholarships most likely. And if they do not, ask the front office. And in these scholarships, some will be from family members of people in the community that have passed and they want to honor, like, if they were really into a sport, baseball or just sports in general. They wanted to give a scholarship to someone who also does a sport and will kind of represent them and carry on their legacy. So this is a great way to get scholarships, and most of the time it's, play a sport for 4 years in high school. And so if you've played for 4 years, that's great because then that's an opportunity for you. Not, I mean, a lot of kids have done it, but not all of them, and sometimes they don't meet like the other requirements. So make sure you do a sport. And on top of just scholarships, it's also great for your college resume or application. I don't know why I keep saying resume or thinking it. It's great for the college application because it shows you have dedication. And if you get good enough at the sport, because you have a lot of time in high school to improve over 4 years, uh, if you put the right amount of effort in, practice hard, stay dedicated, devoted, have discipline on yourself, and keep that discipline giving you motivation, you will be able to succeed and do really well in your sport. I was able to get to the Division 2 level, but I didn't go to a D2 school. Um, I could have though. Anyways, on top of all that, it gives you great connections. So you make a great connection with all of your teammates as well as your coach. And if your coach needs to give you a letter of recommendation in the future for a scholarship, or if the college you need to go to, or if there's a job, your coach can absolutely give you a great recommendation, or letter of recommendation or whatnot. And it's great to build relationships with the people you're playing against if it's a sport like golf where you get to actually talk to them. But if it's football and you're just, charging at each other, maybe you don't get to make that great a relationship with your opponent, but your teammates, you have great times. I have friends from the football team and they had dinners like almost every Thursday and they really enjoyed it. So if you're wanting to play football, it's a great sport, I guess. That's what I've gotten. I really enjoy golf. I know people in high school are usually like, golf's kind of lame, but once you get like older, like I feel like a lot of college kids are like, golf is really cool. Or like, think about it, any middle-aged man you talk to, they're like, I love golf. And at some point, they were probably a high schooler that was like, golf is lame. But golf gets cooler. I also did a year of volleyball. Not the greatest experience. The girls on the golf team were definitely a lot nicer, as well as the coach. But if your volleyball team at your school's good and you're able to do that right on, softball, baseball, whatever sport it may be, just, try the different ones. Even if you think you can't do it, you can. Trust me, you can. And, I mean, we have we had girls on my high school golf team that had never picked up a club, and they were able to get into the 40s, like mid 40s, low 50s after just like a year or two, because they had that athletic ability from like soccer or whatnot. Um, but even if you haven't played a sport at all ever in your life and you don't think you could do it, try golf. It's a lot not easier than you think, but you're like, oh, I could do this. Um, like really just try a sport, even if you're just like not really into them. I really think it's a great way to build your skills and friendships as well. I became really good friends with some people on my team, and I'm still friends with them in college today. And they're just like good people to talk to at school or whatnot. If you have classes together, like now you have someone to talk to in class and be friends with if you're a little nervous. Um, but the team bond is something that is just superb to have in anything, school, outside, like club. If you play like club volleyball or something, um, that's another thing. If you play like a high school sport, also play club outside of that. That's really important. Or if you're doing like golf, play tournaments outside of college if you really care and want to be good. I think it's really important to have like a goal set in mind. So when you're playing a sport, be like, okay, well, I want to improve on this when I'm practicing. Really be intentional with your practice. I don't want to get too deep into it, but that was like 5 minutes talking about just sports. So, anyways, next thing that I wish I started even sooner. So, I started going to the gym like senior year, and going to the gym has made me so much better just in general. It's helped me have a better mental state, and so I can focus better during the day. And being at the gym, when you just put on, your headphones or put in your earbuds and you just go lift weights, it's it's really peaceful because you're just in your zone. And you may think, oh, the gym, like I was so skinny when I was younger. Like I was so skinny, and no matter how much I eat, I just couldn't gain any weight. But after I started going to the gym, then it helped me eat better. I was like, man, I want to get muscle. Like I set goals. I was like, I want to get stronger. So I started eating a lot of chicken and rice and getting that protein in my diet. And I started gaining some more weight, but in muscle. And I was really proud of myself for that. So, you get to better your body, better your mental, and being able to just like listen to music and, lift weights, and you see improvement faster when you're first starting. But then by the time you're like kind of plateauing, but like not really, you're just going like up really slowly. You've already built a routine and great habits from going to the gym. Um, you're just it's something you enjoy, and I'm still going to the gym. It's been probably a year. I don't really know. It's been a while. I definitely recommend it. Even if you're not if you're not the sporty type or athletic type, try going to the gym. Like even if it's just like Planet Fitness where it's like a really cheap membership, um, just try it. And if you don't really have the money for it, if you're a teen in high school, Planet Fitness offers free summer memberships. So over the summer, this next summer, you can try out the gym. I recommend going with a friend your first few times, because it's a little nerve-wracking, but for me and my friend, after the first day, we felt like we'd been there for a year. It really wasn't that bad, and you shouldn't be nervous because everyone there is there to improve themselves, and they also started where you're at some point in their life. So the people at the gym are so nice, and honestly they don't even pay attention to like what you're doing because they're also focused on themselves, just like you should be focused on yourself. When you go into that gym, you focus on you and what you're doing and have you in mind. And I mean, I guess your friend, don't forget about your friend. Don't just ignore them, but it's fun to have someone to go to the gym with. Eventually you could be able to go alone, when you feel comfortable. But if you have like anxiety or whatever, like going to the gym does help. It helped me a little bit with the anxiety I had. And just like that social anxiety where you're like everyone's watching me. Like no one's watching you. I learned like you can literally start like, I don't know, doing the worm on the floor, and like people will glance and be like, oh, okay, that's interesting, but then they'll, get back to doing whatever they were doing because they're there for themselves as well. The gym also gets you out the house. So if you don't either like being in your house or you're just, stuck in your house with nothing else to do, or it's just like not the greatest environment, getting out to the gym is really great. And, just ask your parents about it because they care about you more than anyone else in the entire world, even though they may not show it sometimes or seem like it. They really do care about you and they want the best for you and they're there for you to support you. Um, so just asking them, hey, mom, dad, like, would it be possible for me to like go to the gym? Even if it's like a day membership, you can just get a daily pass and try that out and see how that works for you. Um, but yeah, try not to like go to like one of the like really expensive gyms at first in case it like don't fall off. Don't fall off the gym. It's really good, I promise. Um yeah. The gym community is really great and once you start you'll love it there. The people at the front desk, um they'll tell you you'll have a moment where they tell you like, "Oh, have a great workout." And then you say "you too," but then you realize they're working at the front desk. They're not actually there to go to the gym. And then you'll just be like, sorry. You'll have funny interactions like that. You're like, hope you had a great workout. I'd be like, thanks. Or I don't, just like, you'll have fun little interactions like that. That just kind of like brighten your day up a little bit because the gym staff's usually really nice. And the community as well is super supportive. Like, if you go on whatever social media, there's people that are like, have a lot of information on, if you want to do calisthenics. There's different types of like there's powerlifting, weightlifting, um, cardio, calisthenics. Like just depending on whatever you feel like doing or want to do, your goals. You do like different types of workouts at the gym to achieve different things. So those communities are great, and you can get a lot of information from people. Just make sure you don't get too sucked into like the body image thing because uh, that can be a little self detrimental for people. Um, but I think it makes you more confident because if you're going to the gym, like that's already great. Like step one is just get out to the gym. And from there, you've already like accomplished something and you should feel great about yourself for that. So going to the gym also builds habits um, and something consistent in your life. Uh, before you become a gym rat, you don't really understand the people who are like, the gym is life. Like the gym is my baby. Like I just love the gym so much. And it's like, they seem a little silly, but then after you go, you're like, man, I really like the gym. Like, really like the gym. So you might fall into that, and then you'll like kind of understand. Point three, we can move on from the gym. Learn how to study now, especially if you're taking AP classes. I highly recommend taking AP classes, especially the English ones, because those are easy. You already speak English. Um, so, step one done. AP classes give you information to take the AP test, and taking the AP test gives you credits for college. I have all my history done, all my English done. I don't gotta take any of that because I took it in high school. Just get the work done as early as possible. And I noticed that, like, when I took psychology in college, sorry, my dog started barking. I don't know if you heard that. Anyways, taking psychology in college was much more difficult than it was in high school. I did not pass that AP psych test for some reason, even though it's like the easiest. I don't know how that didn't happen, but um, psych was like harder in college than it was in high school for some reason. But if you could pass it in high school, great. Also, statistics, for me, it was harder in high school, but then super easy in college. So easy. So basically, my point is learn how to study because in high school, normally it's like if you're smarter, you don't really have to study much. I know I didn't really study much for classes because I could just go in there, take a test, and get an A or whatever. Like there's just people like that, and you're like, not fair. So take the time to learn how to study now because I was like that in high school, and then in college I was like, I kind of have to study. So I learned how to study, but it took a little bit of time. So you could look on YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest. I think if you want to really have the motivation to study, at least for me, I like to make my notes look really nice. Like my statistics, like studying notes, looked so clean. They were so clean. And that made me memorize them better. And I could tell you any statistics formula. Well, not any, because I didn't learn chi-square testing in college again, because I don't know. Anyways, anything I learned, I got memorized now to this day. So I built a great understanding from studying, and I think it's really important to study what you struggle on, not just review what you already know, because if you're studying what you already know, it's like it's already in your brain. And I know it's hard to like study the things you're not that good at, but that's where you need to study the most. Focus your efforts on the things you're not good in, which you're like, obviously, duh, I know. But then when you're actually studying, like, think about it. Are you really studying what you need to know because you're struggling in? Or are you studying what you already know and just making yourself feel better? Because I did that, and that was a mistake. and, yeah, I guess those are my only tips for learn how to study and do AP classes, because there's not really much to it, but I could make a little thing on how I study and how I learned to study. I watch just so many different people and like how they study, and now I have a lot of methods and stuff, so I can share those with you in another one if you would like. Mother came in. Anyways, continuing on, I think it is very important in high school to find fun, interesting, and productive hobbies, not just video games. I am a gamer. Don't get me wrong. I love video games, but this whole staying up very late playing video games is not good. I love video games. I understand. I understand the grind. Okay. It's just you got to like remove yourself from playing so many video games. Just limit yourself to the weekends, when you're just it's the weekend. And Friday or whatever. Or a certain amount of hours a day. But the thing is, if you're doing like sports and all that, you won't really have time for video games anyways. I don't know why I'm like targeting video games, I'm so sorry. But that's like something that takes a lot of time out of your day, especially if you're really serious about them and like very competitive. Video games really just consume you. I would know. Trust, I know. So some hobbies and such I have. Cars. Getting into cars is so fun. Now, if you don't have the money for it, it's just get a job in high school if you can. I know when you have sports, it's kind of hard to balance those. It's very hard because if you're taking AP classes, have sports and a job, it's difficult, but it can be done. Summer jobs are good. Those are good. But yeah, cars is a fun one. Just learning about them is good, even if you can't like get a project car or whatnot. Or if you do get a car, just get one that you think is like kind of cool. You could get like I have a 350Z. That was like $5,000. It's a good first car, and it's like kind of like a cool one in the car community. Actually, a lot of people hate it because it's a VQ. But carrying on. Sports are fun to get into. A lot of people love sports, watching sports, doing sports. Yeah, I guess that's really all you can do with sports is watch and do them. Just learning about sports. Whatever one you find interesting. I don't care if it's badminton. You do badminton. If you want to do badminton, do what makes you happy. Another one, nature. Nature is so fun. Nature is so fun. You ever go up to the snowy mountains and go skiing or snowboarding? You ever go on hikes to lakes and hang out with your friends at the lake? Come on, that's fun. Picnics, I guess, if you want. It doesn't have to be a picnic. It could be anything. You could do anything in nature. You could just hang out with friends in nature. You can learn about birds. Some people like to hunt. Some people like to fish. You could learn how to start a fire. That's always a good skill to have. Don't really know why you would need to know how to start a fire if you don't go into nature much, but if you start going into nature, learn those nature skills. Oh, here's learning skills. So this is very general, but by learning skills, I mean how to fix stuff. All right, this is simple. All right, I'm gonna use cars as an example. Something breaks in your car. Your car isn't starting. Well, you could search up YouTube videos. You could figure out what's wrong with your car rather than going and spending a ton of money on fixing your car. It could just be your battery. Like some connection on the battery is just a little messed up. Learn how to change your own oil instead of spending $100 or whatever at the oil place or the service place. Learn how to do it yourself. It's really not that hard. There's a lot of stuff you can do that you would normally hire someone for if you just do a little research, spend time learning about stuff. Just random skills are very helpful. I like butterfly knives. I do that. That's a random skill. An instrument could be cool. The guitar is very fun. That's a very cool instrument to learn. Piano. Drums are, that's a big one. It's gonna be a lot of noise, but um, violin, flute, whatever your instrument may be. That's a good skill to have. It's also kind of impressive when you can do that. Another one, learning languages. I'm kind of a nerd for this. Like, learn a language for fun? Really? No. That's going to be like 99% of people. That doesn't sound fun to me. You are sitting on my Russian book for when I'm learning Russian. That's the language I'm studying right now, but for some reason I enjoy learning languages, which is a little weird, I guess. I can see where you would say that's weird, but it's quite helpful. I wouldn't say fluent in Spanish, but I just am gonna say fluent for the lack of better words. I took 5 years of Spanish, and then I was studying it for a year before that. So that's the extent of my Spanish. I passed the AP Spanish test. That's another one. If you don't want to take a language in college, just do Spanish in high school. It's a lot of work, but it's pretty easy. Um, Point number 5. Don't party excessively. Sure, go to a few parties. They usually turn out to be lame anyways, and not that fun, not that memorable, unless you guys have some crazy ragers that are fun. But usually it's just like not really good vibes and low-key a waste of time. They don't really get you anywhere, and it just makes you stay up late so you're dead at school the next day, or running on just straight caffeine. So party is usually not the greatest idea. Of course there's like birthday parties and stuff and graduation parties, and that kind of party's cool, but like I'm talking about like the house parties that are like just kind of lame and kind of boring in the end. That was a short point. I don't really have much to say on that besides they're just kind of womp womp. Next point, don't be afraid to talk to people and make new friends. This one definitely applies to the people coming into high school. Everybody there, like, they either don't really have that many friends or have none because all their friends from the middle school go to a different high school. But yeah, everyone wants to make friends. Well, almost everyone. You'll know the people who don't want to make friends when they just like are in the corner of the classroom, like ignoring everyone that talks to them. That's the kind of person that doesn't really want to make friends. I mean, you could try for sure, but I'd say don't be afraid to talk to people because, like, in the end, just like try and be social and nice. And it's like, worst case scenario, they don't care, and it's like, if they don't care, why should you care? Um, Stop caring so much about what like people think of you or what could happen. Just do it. I mean, obviously have some thoughts behind what you do. Don't do stupid things, but if you're gonna be in high school for 4 years, might as well make some friends while you're there. So the first few weeks of high school are a really good opportunity to make friends, but don't get me wrong, you can make more friends once you're later in high school and you've done more things. There's always opportunities to join new friend groups or make new friends with people. Also, it's important to make the right friends and hang out with the right people who have a mindset similar to yours, which hopefully is a successful one. Don't hang out with the people who do nothing, they just, after school, they go home and they don't even really know what they're doing. Hang out with the people who play a sport. This is going back to the sport thing. Make friends with the people on your sports team. This is a great opportunity. Meet people in your classes. Just whoever you sit by, just start talking to them. I'm sure they'll talk back, not in a mean way, of course. And even if they do, just go sit by another person. That'll probably make them feel kind of bad for doing that, because it's like you sat next to them, then you started talking to them, and they were being rude, and you're like, never mind, like no one wants to sit by you, and just go sit by somebody else. But yeah, be outgoing, be affable, be friendly, and don't be afraid to be social. Because I was very shy the first 2 years of high school. And then suddenly, junior year, I just started talking to everybody. I did not care what people would think of me. I just started talking to them, and I made a lot more friends. Number 7, this one's going to be a little controversial to some of you at first. Join FFA. Now, most of you are like, oh, FFA, Future Farmers of America? No thanks. Trust me, I live in an urban neighborhood, just houses, like regular houses, not the country. You don't gotta be a farmer to join FFA. You really don't. I am nowhere near that. But they do have so many opportunities in FFA. Once again, scholarships. There's a lot of FFA scholarships. And if you do the agriculture classes, they have floriculture, mechanics, science classes. They have biology, chemistry, an advanced agriculture class. They have leadership in agriculture, ag lead. I took the science path and the leadership path. You learn a lot about leadership in all of your FFA classes. You still learn the science stuff that you need to, but typically the ag path is more hands-on and less difficult than the regular classes. And so if you kind of struggle in science a little bit, I recommend the agriculture path. If you have ag at your school or FFA, it's such a good thing to join. And something that is a great opportunity for you, as it allows you to explore careers, gain new skills, and it's just fun in general, are the CDE and LDE teams. And these could be things like veterinary science, parliamentary procedure, floriculture, public speaking, things like that, where you can develop skills. I did veterinary science, and that was really fun. We got to wear veterinary scrubs and go to competitions at different colleges and compete by identifying different animals and tools and practicing procedures and such on fake animals. And it was a really good experience, and it allowed me to explore what being a vet could be like, and it gave me a little look into that sort of career path. And then there's floriculture, so if you like flowers or plants or just making stuff look pretty, that's a good team to join. You'll have to look, because not every school has the same teams, because the ag teachers have to establish them. But there's so many different things. There's literally livestock evaluation. There's a mechanics one, small engines, where you identify the issue with engines and motors and mechanical stuff. And there's an electrician one. So if you want to be more hands-on and go down that kind of route, you could definitely check those out, because they're pretty fun. I had a great time at the veterinary science competition. Waking up at 5 in the morning, getting Dutch, driving an hour and a half to 2 hours to whatever college we're going to, then competing, and then having a nice long drive home, but also getting really good food. So if you want good eats, fun competitions, great teammates, fun practices, that's something to do. If you really don't find sports to be your thing, you should do something like that. I'd also like to mention this looks great on college applications, resume, and just other applications for whatever you might be trying to do. This looks so good because FFA is very well known. Another thing I'd like to mention is that my school won nationals this year. I mean, I don't go there anymore, but I was very proud of them. So they're the number one parliamentary procedure team in the United States. Um, and then the staff and teachers, they are so good in FFA. And the experiences you have are so fun. Like, I have so many good memories and had so many good times in FFA. Met so many great people. The teachers are so nice. They're so fun. They're so laid back and chill and relaxed. Unlike your regular teacher, ag teachers, they're like high school students, like just teaching other high school students. It's so fun. And they're just great people to build connections with. Like, they literally like follow their students on Instagram and like have it's a whole thing. Like, they're just different in a good way. And I really appreciate them. They're there for you. They really care about their students and what they do. Like, they're in FFA for a reason. They came back to teach FFA because they really, really enjoyed it that much. And they really love what they do and they're super passionate. So if you want some good teachers, FFA is where it's at, the ag department. Point 8, this one's pretty brief. Get your license as soon as possible, ASAP. All right, it's more convenient. It's fun to be able to drive yourself, and you have more freedom to go more places because you don't have to do it on like the time constraints of your parents. You just kind of like go do it. Like, oh, I'm going to the football game. You don't need to be dropped off or picked up. You just drive yourself, and it's great. They'll probably start making you go pick up food and groceries, but it's still fun to like have responsibilities, kind of, sometimes. And it's also like the first step to being an adult in a way, because now you're literally driving a car. That's a big responsibility. And it just makes you feel more adult. More adult. That's honestly all I have to say about this one. Next up, watch sporting events. Football was probably the most fun I've had at school. In high school, loved the football games. They were so fun. Like, the dances, they were okay. The football games were so fun because they were at like, they would go until like, I don't know, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And, you're just sitting on the bleachers with your friends. You get snacks, you watch football, you talk, you gossip, I don't know, you just talk about stuff, and it's just so fun to be able to like walk around with all these people, and you see all these people and you like go to the different groups and talk to them. Watching football games is so fun. I didn't go to many of the volleyball or basketball games, but those are also pretty fun to watch. So whatever sport you want to support, just watch them. I'm sure the people who are playing, if you have friends playing on whatever team it may be, they very much appreciate it. And it supports your school. I recommend if your school has it, join the student section or the spirit section. Like, we had the flock, because we're Hawks. And those are fun because you guys coordinate to like do different things and like cheers, and you like coordinate with the cheer team and all that, and it's fun. It's fun to do. And then you coordinate with like the spirit days and dress up for those, and it's just like representing your school and just showing school spirit, and it's fun. It's fun. And you make a lot of memories. Going to these sporting events. Let me tell you, some fun stuff will happen sometimes that like you don't expect. Like, you'll just never forget about it. Next up, we got the last point. Join clubs, city commission, or just organizations. So your city will most likely have a youth commission. So just search up like your city name and then youth commission, and they might have one. And this is basically a mini city council for the youth. This is something that looks great on your resumes, applications, college apps. It looks really good because you make a lot of connections with city council members, like the mayor. Like, I knew the mayor pretty well, and like the vice mayor and council members, and then with those connections, you ask for donations for stuff, support for whatever you want to do. And so joining these commissions is really good, and it helps you learn to work with others. Even though some of them might not be the greatest people, you learn to work with them and you know put up with people and work through your differences. And it's a fun experience because it's like a government thing. Like, you're quite literally a mini city council. So you make projects, you do a lot of community service, you get hours for that, a lot of hours. Clubs that you can join: National Honor Society, California Scholarship Federation, CSF, or they might have like whatever state you live in, like Scholarship Federation for it. And these get you like cool seals and stuff, and on your diploma, and like cords and all that. So just be really involved in your high school, because no matter what you do, at least you tried. You'll probably enjoy it. Most things in school are fun. The clubs that just build skills, the organizations you may join build skills, connections. Like, that's really what high school is about, is getting those skills, connections, and habits built and established before you go off to college, and you're just preparing for whatever you may be doing in college. That is about all I have for you guys today. Those are like 10 points of things that I wish I did, things I did. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening to this ramble, but I personally think it's quite valuable advice, because it'll help you get into whatever college you may want to be in. If you guys want to know like more about any of these points, let me know. I'll probably end up making some random videos on the different points, and like going in depth on like how to study, or just like, I don't know, whatever, AP classes, stuff like that. Because I want to like share my information with you guys, so you guys don't make the same mistakes that I did, or so that you guys know better for when you're in high school, or if you are in high school, you can start on that right now. It's not too late. Start now. Don't wait. It's also like the beginning of 2024, so let's get on these good habits and keep them. Yeah, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. 16 missed calls.